Hi, I'm Aaron McKenzie. Welcome to an Origin of Energy endurance session. So today, just doing 3 movements and doing 2 minutes of work, 30 seconds rest, and doing 10 sets. So what happens is you've got a 30-second rest built into the workout. And this is just to force people to rest, because I don't believe it's very healthy just to do like 24-minute straight workouts without stopping, especially when you're doing high intensity movements and complex movements like we're going to do. So with the workout, you're going to try and get as much done as you can in 2 minutes. Then you rest for 30 seconds and then go again and do 10 sets of that. So that's going to equate to 25-minute workout. So it's quite a long workout. So the first movement I've got is just doing a burpee power snatch. So the easy version would be with the kettlebell, just to step back, step in, come up and do a deadlift. So for today, a lot of people that are challenged doing the faster movements, especially when they're fatigued, that's a good version. Next one, you can jump out into the bridge position, come back up, and then high pull the weight. And that way it makes it a little bit more intense. Full version, jump out, touch the chest, jump up, and power snatch it right up. Straight back down, straight up. So just did 5 of those. Next movement was a kipping pull-up. So we give people the option where they just want to do a kip, do a strict pull-up, or do a kipping pull-up, and that way they can kind of work on what's best for them. So some people want to build more strength, and then doing a strict pull-up is going to build more strength. Some people want to just work on that technique for the swing, and that's what they need more before they progress to the kipping pull-up. And other people actually do the kipping pull-up. So if you're using bands in the gym, it's just important to check all the time that if they're getting frayed edges and they're thinning out. So a lot of our bands that started out quite strong lose the layers, and over time they become thinner and thinner, so you just always want to be on the lookout for that. We haven't had one snap yet, so don't need that to happen. So if you just check and replace them,
if that works,
it's worthwhile. So just when you're using the band, make sure you put one hand on the bar. It's always good to have some type of way to get up into the band, where you're at a height where you can easily put your foot in and get in and out, because that's where a lot of people are challenged when they get fatigued. If they can't put their foot down on something comfortably, they could lose their grip and then whip out and they fall on their butt, or worse, on their head or their back. So here, just hanging through. So the base movement would just be the kip. So if you're using the band, it's quite easy on this part, but you've got to work when you go into that extension pattern. And then from there, when you're at the back of it, pull yourself up and then bring the body in. That works quite well. So most people, what they do is they come down here, step across, and pull themselves out. I do let people just jump down like that and then take the leg out. That's okay too, but as long as they're confident with that. But a lot of the beginners and people like that are a bit unsure with it, it's good to teach them to step out to the side. So if I'm not using the band, you could just do a strict pull-up, coming right up, keeping that core tight, or the kip. So if I'm kipping here, pop the hips forward, and just popping it up like that. Doing 12 reps, that's quite a lot of reps. If you're using the kip though, what you want to work on is not just the swing, and then if you want to go into that pull-up position, you want to use the hip hop, and that's what gives you that bit more lift at the top. So when you're at the back of the swing and you're about to pull your body into the bar, pop the hips. When your chest comes towards the bar, then you're going to push back and drop the other way. And that's what sets you up for the next swing. So if I pull myself in and push myself off the bar, the next swing is a lot easier. The last movement just had an interval run, so just got 2 markers 10 meters apart running around, so it's just 60 meters. Now, depending on how you're doing the workout, if you want to develop more power, you can obviously sprint that a lot harder. If you're just trying to get volume in the workout and get through as much as you can, this is kind of a good way to get some rest and shake your arms out before you come back to the heavier movement, the kettlebell burpee power snatch. But if you are sprinting and developing power, then you can kind of just work the rest in there. So just walking around, coming in nice and tight. And it's a good idea to do figure eights. So you work both sides. come around. So it's quite a short run, but it's just to break up the pull-ups and the power snatches. Last movement, doing a 360 on the mat. So this is a great core exercise, and these work very hard through the whole, all round three-dimensionally. So working front, back, side, side, and working in 3 planes of motion. And so we're doing this for a minute. This is after, and then going to work in a kneeling Swiss ball balance, and that way it's kind of an easier movement with a harder movement. So holding in this shape here, the full version, you come around and snap back, and that's quite hard for a minute. So a lot of people just hold here, turn like that, or you can just have the leg a bit bent, like that. Or you can just go a little bit slower and feel each position. But do as many as you can in a minute. Quite challenging and works it quite hard. So the next movement's fairly easy. That way by the time you come back to it after a minute, you've had a decent rest. So you can start off using a smaller Swiss ball. It's a little bit easier to get onto it. And what you want to be able to do is kind of come on and then just kind of come off like that and feel comfortable doing that. So that way you're not scared to go too far forward. You want to spread the force over the shins and then come up. And this is just a balance, just for people. If you want to make it a bit more challenging, you can bounce on it. But it's more just a rest period before you get back into the 360s. And just a little bit of a challenge for people. So just did 3 sets of those, 6 minutes. See you next time, keep having fun.